Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family, and today we will be discussing Marco Asensio transfer explained to Paris Saint Germain. We'll be going through obviously the price tag of Asensio, comparing him to players that we got, players that we're linked with, looking at the reports and taking a look at Marco Asensio as a football player. So first of all, let's take a look at the reports. First one here from Fabrizio Romano. PSG and the other Premier League clubs have been informed that Marco Asensio is on the verge of leaving Real Madrid as a free agent this summer. PSG inquired about Marco Asensio last August, and also in January. The Spaniard had always been appreciated by Paris. Justin, Marco Asensio is in advanced talks to join PSG as a free agent. Aston Villa, Juventus and AC Milan have also shown interest in him, but PSG's proposal is currently the one that is proving most tempting to the Spaniard. And I just need to mention that both of these sources are from ESPN, so not the most reliable. And then here from RMC Sport, PSG are looking for a left-footed winger evolving on the right. Marco Asensio's profile corresponds to it, and Paris knows about his contractual situation. But PSG's priority in this position is Bernardo Silva. So is Asensio a plan B to Bernardo Silva, or is he supposed to be the backup to Bernardo Silva? Those are questions we're still looking at. But Marco Asensio, he's 27 years old. Obviously, he will be free this summer with his contract expiring at Real Madrid. And these are his stats: a great non-penalty goals, shot total, and all of that. But we can't forget that Asensio is a bench player, so his goal and assist tally look a bit better because most of his minutes are off the bench, and it's easier to get goal contributions off the bench with less minutes. So his ratio looks better than what he usually is. But Marco Asensio has been pretty much a backup at Real Madrid for a long time now, and Real Madrid still do not want to extend him. Real Madrid fans still want him out. So then my question is, why should we take him as a backup if he was not good enough at Real Madrid? And we have seen these Spanish attackers come to Paris Saint Germain like Carlos Soler and Pablo Sarabia, who were great in La Liga, even better than what Asensio were. But as soon as they came here, they could not handle it. The physicality of Liga and the athleticism of Liga, and it was way too hard for them to adapt to. And I think the same is going to be for Marco Asensio. Obviously, he could be playing, if you play a 4-2-3-1, he could play as that right-sided player, or potentially in a right cam if you play with dual number 10s. But he will pretty much play the current Messi role. And looking at his stats right here, obviously he's much better stats than both Soler and Sarabia. These stats actually make Ekitike look better than Soler and Sarabia, but it's not hard to be better than those two. But then I compared them to players we're linked with, like Hakim Ziyech, Johan Bakayoko, and Mikel Olise. And here we can see more difference. Obviously, as you can see, the assist, the shots total, non-penalty goals, he's the best at. And as I said, when it comes to assist and non-penalty goals, it looks a bit better because, as I said, he comes off the bench. But he's by far the most attacking guy that takes shots and score goals out of all of these. But look at Bakayoko, because he's my preferred option as a backup on that right side. Shot creating actions first, dribble completed first, touches in penalty area first, progressive passes received first, progressive carries first. This makes Ziyech and Olise look a bit mid. Asensio looks okay, but I would most likely love to take Bakayoko because he ticks all the boxes. He's a better player than Asensio. He's much younger, has a much lower wage. And one final thing I wanted to look at is their pressing and defensive contribution stats. As you can see, both Ziyech, Olise, and Bakayoko work much harder than Asensio defensively off the ball. And I mean, that's a thing I would want. If you are not an amazing elite attacker like a Neymar and Messi, you will need to be pressing. You will need to be doing the dirty work. And Asensio obviously doesn't do it. Another negative aspect about him. Obviously, he would come for free to Paris Saint Germain, would cost absolutely nothing. But he has currently a 190k wage at Real Madrid. And I believe Paris Saint Germain would offer the same, if not even more. And that's another negative factor for me. Yes, he's for free, but he has this high of a wage. Johan Bakayoko, we could snatch him up maybe for 25 to 30 million. And he only has like a 20k wage at PSV. We can up that to 90, 100. He's a much younger player. He will evolve to become a much better player than Asensio. He can dribble. He has the physicality. He has all of that in his bag. And as I said, with the Soler and Sarabia coming to Paris Saint Germain, and not proving themselves yet. Paris Saint Germain in Liga and Uber Eats. I think the same goes for Asensio. And as I said, he's a backup player at Real. Why are we going to take another team's backup? He has already proven that he's not even good enough to be a backup, and that's the reason people do not want him to stay at Real Madrid. And I think the probability of this transfer happening is 7.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I think it's very probable to happen because, as the report stated, we have been after him since January and since last summer. We have been looking at his contract situation at Real Madrid and are prepared to make the deal happen. But the signing, I would give it a 4 out of 10. If this potential signing happens, I would not be that happy with it. It's not 0 out of 10. It's not an absolute trash signing, but it's too risk for me because, as I said, we have seen a pattern of La Liga, especially right cams, right wingers coming here to Paris Saint Germain, Spanish ones, and not being able to do what they do. And as I said, him being a backup does not help him as well. Let me know in the comments down below. Would you guys take Marco Asensio at Paris Saint Germain? Yes or no? That's been it. Smash the like button, subscribe to the PSGINT YouTube channel. As always, allez, Paris.